In the words of the late George Carlin, BS is the glue that binds us together as a nation. Here comes a ton of it. It's time for BSing with Big Nate.
That was Hillbilly Vegas, their latest single, Hell to Pay. And I am joined today by none other than Steve Harris. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nate. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I can't think of much better to do on a Saturday afternoon than get down to some real, true Southern rock and that track. So I want to talk about that track for a moment. You guys describe it as a good track to get a speeding ticket to.
That's what people tell us. They tell us they like to drive fast to it. So, we'll take it. That's really what we've been told. I can't take credit for the quote.
I mean, I could see that. The song really kind of moves, and it definitely has that pedal to the metal. It's a good driving song, but I want to how did it come about? Where's that coming from, that track?
You want the truth, or do you want the publicist approved story?
I always want the truth.
All right. The truth is that our record label put out a single last year that a guy at our record label put out a single last year that we didn't approve. He didn't let us hear it. We recorded it, but he didn't let us hear the mix and master, and then he released it, and we hated it. And so they brought us to Nashville to play a big a big to-do about the single in front of all the industry people. And instead of playing that single, we played an AC/DC cover song. And I told them it was their song. It was not ours anymore, and they can do with what they want with it. And then we got home and we went in the studio and recorded and did Hell to Pay and recorded it, mixed and mastered it, and didn't tell them until we were finished. And so we had that standoff with them. That guy's not at the record label anymore. And it's all a happy ending. But that song came out of spite to start with. But it's also, just a song that kind of identifies with our sound and with who we are.
That's I think the feelings captured. Knowing that now and not knowing that before we talked, I read into the song a lot more, and man, that's a hell of a track, and I'm a big fan of that mentality. Moving forward, you said everything kind of had a happy ending. How that guy no longer works at the label, but
no, and we have a great relationship with them, and it's just sometimes you have to stand up for what you believe, because long after all those suits and all those guys that are trying to tell you what to do are gone, you're left to live with your creation. And if you aren't happy with it, then it doesn't matter what happened. And so even though that single I was talking about previously ended up being a top 10 on some charts and did almost 1 million streams, didn't like it. We never got to have any input in it. And so we've never played it again. And I know that sounds terrible, but it has to be what we believe in, and it has to be us, or we're not going to do it. And Hell to Pay is all us, and everything we've done since then, we've got a new album coming out, is all us. And they are leaving us alone and letting us create what we want to create. And, we've gone through that a couple of times in our career. And sometimes the machine can eat you up, and you just have to get away and create and bring it back to them when you're done.
And I think that's really important. I think at the end of the day, self-respect is probably one of the most important things to have in your repertoire. But I also think as an artist, you can sit there and, I mean, if you're making the song that the record label wants to hear, why aren't you just going into commercial jingles?
Well, when you get a record deal, we've had, in my lifetime, in my music career, I've had 3 or 4 of them. And in Hillbilly Vegas, we've had, I think, 3 now. And they always tell you, we love you. We love everything about you. We're just going to change this. And then we're going to change that. And, they start off loving everything about you. And then they want to change what it was that attracted them to you in the first place. And luckily, our record label is ran by some guys who have real forward thinking now. They're in the movie business also. They make a lot of movies for Netflix and Amazon. And they kind of understand the creative process. And they've kind of gotten out of our way and just let us do what we want.
I mean, that's the way rock and roll should be, to be honest with you, because
yeah,
a lot of the times it feels to me like labels are putting out, and I mean, you may have found this to be the case. Like you said, you've dealt with a lot of labels, but it seems like they're putting out what they think the people want to hear, and then it becomes so saturated. So I love that you guys are kind of with Hell to Pay, not only making a statement that, hey, we're Hillbilly Vegas, we're going to do what we want, but also that, we're going to stand true to our art. And I have a huge amount of respect to that. But I also need to ask, where does that come from? Where did Hillbilly Vegas form? Like, what's the beginning? What's the foundation point for you?
Well, we're in Oklahoma, and we're on the border of Arkansas, a border town thing. And honestly, we got together to write some songs. And if you put a bunch of musicians in a room together, they're going to start a band even if they don't intend to. And it's almost just like Wayne's World would happen. We wrote a song that we really thought was fun. It was called Oklahoma 3.2 at the time. It was making fun of our weak beer that we have here. It's real watered down. It's not anymore. So that song, we don't play it anymore. But anyway, we recorded it in our local radio station. They liked it, a friend of ours, and he played it. And I swear, Nate, this is the truth. He played it one afternoon at lunchtime. And there was a record executive from Nashville passing through Interstate 40 at that very moment. And he called from his car, the radio station. He said, I want to know who those guys are. It's just like Wayne's World, when they discovered Tia Carrere's, I love that movie, her band. And so the call was made, and then he called us, and we couldn't believe it because we kind of long given up any chance of, a music career above just playing for fun. We've kicked it around for years. And that got the ball rolling. That record deal, I like to say it was a big happy ending, but it didn't turn out because they wanted us to really be steel guitar, fiddle, country, and all of that. But it opened doors for us to get national recognition and get a management deal, and then move on. And we've charted 5 singles on the country charts, 2 internationally now. And our current record label, Bristol, is allowing us to be what we are live. We always toned it down a little in the studio, and they're allowing us to be what we are live. And if it means we don't chart on the country charts anymore, so be it. We're a live act.
We're joined in the midst of all this by Stacy. Stacy, how you doing?
I am good. I am really good now.
So we've heard Hell to Pay. We've heard Steve's story on the formation of Hillbilly Vegas, but now I want to get your side of the story. We'll start with Hell.
Is this good cop, bad cop?
Yeah. I've already done the bad cop, I promise you.
As far as I know, you guys haven't talked about it. So what's your feeling on Hell to Pay?
Hell to Pay is a song that was written. We've all of us worked hard all of our lives. Always reaching for the brass ring, and always afraid that you're not going to get there before the end of it. Just working hard and trying to achieve things in life, love, all of that.
Is that the publicist approved answer that you?
Nate, that is the publicist approved answer. And Stacy, I already gave him the unapproved, unedited answer.
Okay, well, and it's all done with attitude.
And that's what I like to hear. And I want to ask you both, what have been your biggest influences into getting into music and doing what you do?
Steve, you go first.
My biggest influence, I don't know. When I was a kid, I started, my parents were a Southern gospel group, and I was around a lot of that. My dad had all these old 45s, and it was James Brown and things. And, to be honest with you, Nate, I have never, ever left the 70s as far as the music that I love. And I think all the best music was created then. And, all those artists during that time, Paul Rodgers and Bad Company, Queen, Lou Gramm and Foreigner, Leonard Skinner, of course, and Three Dog Night, and people like that, Joe Walsh, people like that, that is who influenced me. And if I was going to say anybody country, I would say, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Paycheck, people like that.
Ooh, big fan of Johnny Paycheck. That's been my dream for years. Actually, my last show, I used to work at a college radio station, and last track I played was Take This Job and Shove It. It's
there you go.
Proudest moments in radio. And it probably wasn't even fair. I left on good terms. It was amicable, and it was just, you get this opportunity. You kind of
got to do it.
Low-hanging fruit, but it was so worth it. Still one of my favorite moments.
Yeah. If you don't figure anything out in this business, you can't afford to burn bridges.
I mean, I think to a certain degree that's pretty true in every business except for demolitions.
Yeah, well, there is that. There is that.
Definitely want to be burning some bridges there.
Yep. So my early influences were the Dave Clark Five, Bowie, Doobie Brothers were a huge influence on me. The Eagles, and then of course the late '70s, mid to late '70s with Boston and Foreigner and ELO and all those people, and I just kind of continued to progress from that. I went through a very heavy phase, and was adamant that people not tell me that I was a great Southern rock guitar player. I was a heavy metal guitar player for years, and I finally realized, you know what, I'm a pretty good Southern rock guitar player. So I've embraced all of that. I love all the Southern greats, Allman Brothers, Skinnerd, 38 Special, Molly Hatchet, all of those guys. So that's kind of where it all goes and where it all comes from.
I feel like I can parallel a lot of what you said. Growing up, I was always heavy metal or nothing. And I think it was mid-20s, I finally realized, you know what? Rock is rock. If it sounds good, who cares?
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that's an important thing a lot of people could realize. What is next for Hillbilly Vegas?
Well, we are in the midst of recording our first full-length album in a long time. That's because we've actually had time from travel and time from playing to write and record and put a full-length album out. And honestly, we think that's probably our entire 2020. And there are plans. We had original plans to go to Europe in 2020. We had to miss out on Sweden and Spain and some other places like that. And our goal in 21 is to make up for that and get overseas. We're doing really well overseas. They love this kind of music and this kind of stuff over there. And it's like it's all brand new to them. And they enjoy it so much, and the audiences are great. And so we want to get over there, but we also want to continue to get across the country like we've done for the last several years and be at all the festivals, all the bike rallies, and all that stuff, because we are a live band. And, we feel like half a person right now because of that, but it has actually been good because we've been able to write and record.
Yeah, we all miss getting on the bus, that's for sure. It's nothing like a bus adventure to get your blood running.
What was the last show you guys played?
January. We were in LA in early January, and then we came home, and then we went straight to Franklin, Tennessee, which is outside of Nashville. We played a showcase for our record label and record executives and people with all of all people, John Schneider, Bo Duke. And we thought that was just the beginning of doing all our rallies and all our shows. And that's it. January. Yeah. We were headed out again in March.
Oh, yeah. 2020 has been a real kick in the nuts. But I think as things change and as we kind of all adapt, 2021 could be pretty damn excellent. Last but not least, and probably most importantly, where can the lovely viewers find Hillbilly Vegas online? Well,
I used to make a joke, we'd love to be Googled, so you could do that. But our usernames are all at Hillbilly Vegas, one word, lowercase, whatever, And we're on all the platforms. We've got all the Twitters and the Facebook and the Instagram and the Spotifys and all that. We're easy to find. Just stick it in there and we're there. Everybody does a great job of getting our music out for us, and all it takes is just one search of our name and everything will come up. So we don't really have a website per se. Our record label has one, but you don't really need one these days. You just need an @ in front of your name.
I'm 100% with you on that one. It's something that I argue until I'm blue in my mouth. Is everyone is going to social media to find what they need to find about the things they know and love. It's really interesting how our news feeds have actually become our news feeds. Gentlemen, I thank you so very much for joining me, and everyone give Hillbilly Vegas some love, and you gentlemen have a nice day.
Nate, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Good luck to you, and talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time very much, man.
My pleasure.
Right on.
Are you sick and tired of using those cheap, smelly blue masks? They always seem to break, and no matter what you try to do and fix it, it just doesn't work. Plus, they look horrendous, and they never fit quite right.
There's gotta be a better mask!
Now there is! Introducing the new limited edition 105.3 The Bear Mask. This 2-ply eco-friendly face cover is washable and reusable. And the best part about the new 105.3 The Bear Mask is that 100% of the proceeds benefit the Southwest Virginia COVID-19 Response Force. Get your new limited edition 105.3 The Bear Mask today.